It's a Boat Thing, Meet the Owner. Today we are in Cambridgeshire, just down the river from St Ives, and we're going to meet a guy called Ashley. He owns the boat Aurora. It's a Sealine S28. Let's go meet Ashley. So I've just turned the camera around.
Hello,
Good morning,
Peter.
Ashley. How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm good. Yourself?
Very good, thank you. So, would you like to show me around the outside of your boat? And what we'll do is then afterwards we'll have a look in the inside, if we can be so bold.
Of course.
And then we'll have a little chat about what your boat's been about and what you do, if that is okay.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Now, your boat is an absolute cracker. I'm going to just stand back a little bit. Actually, it's so big, it doesn't even fit in the shot properly. It's a lovely boat. You keep it really, really well.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about it and what the outside is
Okay,
is
yeah.
about.
So it's a Sealine S28 cruiser. It's got twin engines on diesel engines without drives. So it kind of doesn't belong here on the river.
I see what you're saying.
It belongs on the sea a little bit, but it's nice and sort of well equipped and laid out for.
And maybe we can have a look at the engines a little bit later, because I know that they are very good engines on these. So these are CAD 32. So we'll have a look at those a bit later. But you're right, not really a river boat, but it does fit down the river.
It's nice and comfy for around here as well. So it sort of serves two purposes quite well.
So I see you've got your summer canopy on at the moment, and we are getting towards the end of the season-ish at the moment.
Yeah, so when I bought the boat, it had an older canopy, priced that into it.
Yeah.
So I had the new canopy fitted when I purchased it. Got the old canopy, perfect for the winter, just to leave that on there.
It's a good idea, and in that way you're not ruining your nice new canopy that looks nicer in the summer, isn't it?
It lasts a little bit longer,
absolutely.
So save a bit. So, but apart from that, I haven't really done very much to the boat since buying it. That was.
No, remember you did say to me once, getting under things, particularly on the river, can be a little bit problematic.
That side of things.
And I'm just going to look up to the top there, and anyone that knows sea lines will know that there should be a whole load of equipment on the top of that.
There was a good 2.5 foot of metal work up there, which just made it impossible for every sort of bridge and sort of lock around here. So I played around with it, put an LED light on, which works as an anchor and navigation light as well.
Oh, that's a good idea, because you haven't got a rear steaming light on it, so that does for that as well. So that was
and
keeps the height down as well for getting under some of the structures.
It does, it's made a big difference. I think going down to Ely, which is a good trip from here. There's only like one bridge that's a sort of problem now, whereas before it was all of them.
Makes a massive difference on usability, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
Yeah,
very much so. Very much so.
As we look down the side, I know that you mentioned to me a little while ago about your new fast fenders.
I'm copying everyone else. They're really handy, so easy to use.
We have done these on a not so technical. If you haven't seen that episode,
have you already done that?
To do, but actually, if you just demonstrate how easy these are,
just come off like that and then back on like that. So and then for the height, they're just self-locking on there as well.
When you're mooring quickly, isn't it?
Really easy. Yeah.
No, I do like those. I mean, the boat itself, it's just in tremendous condition.
Thank you.
You do really look after your boat. I know you look after your boat.
Gave it a good polish at the start of the season, and hope it lasts the way through, which it has really.
Isn't it?
So,
yeah,
done all right.
We have a little walk down the front of the boat.
Go down. And I'll jump on board.
Yeah, I'll not film that bit, Ash, because just in case you miss foot, I'm going to stand at the edge of it's quite a wobbly jetty, but we'll attempt to do it without me falling in anyway. And I see you've got a nice big sun deck on here as well. Yep.
I've seen some that have got the cushions on the top of them, so I might look at investing in that and getting some for the front, but I haven't gone that far yet. And then just down the front here, we've got the anchor locker. So the anchor's all nicely sort of tucked away underneath and that. But it's all nice and easy to get to as well.
Looking underneath where the anchor lives in the pocket. But of course, all your controls are either here at the front or on the helm. Is that right?
Got the foot controls or at the helm as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's It always looks bigger when you stand at the front here. It seems to look
it's a very
longer,
pointy and white boat.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know it's a very capable boat on the sea. As we know, we've been out on the bumpy stuff together a few times. But it's just a smart looking boat.
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest, I didn't want to spend this much money as I did on the boat. I saw it and I fell in love with it. And then I looked at all sorts of other boats and telling myself, no, don't spend that much, don't spend that much. But in the end, I just sort of gave in. I was talking to my mother one evening. She went, for goodness sake, just buy it, will you? So it sort of convinced me,
good advice.
Go for it. Go for it.
Normally they're all the other way around, aren't they? Don't
Yeah,
spend,
no,
don't
exactly,
do this, don't
exactly.
do that. But,
so
yeah,
I got the nod.
Wonderful.
So, would you like to come on board?
I would love to see inside your boat, Ashley. It's,
Please do.
The outside is the promise. I'm sure the inside is going to be equally as big.
Yeah, welcome on board. So, it's yeah, one thing that attracted me to this boat was the social side of it out the back here, and it's got plenty of seating. It's versatile. Table drops down into a sort of sun deck as well, which is pretty nice. And there's a beer fridge.
It's an important part of the equipment, I think, isn't it?
We've got a sink under there as well. And then tucked away in here, we've got the fridge as well. So,
and as always, pretty well stocked.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. We with the canopy, we tend to sort of just take the front screens off, leave the top on, so you got a bit of sun shelter.
Yeah.
But the back, I don't know if you can see it from there, but
I'll swap
spin
over.
round.
I'll spin over with you and swap around.
This this part here drops down, so all of this canopy just folds up in there, which is
that's a really neat.
Not essential,
idea,
but it's tidy and nice, and I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. I suppose that also helps when you're out on the salty sea, that rather than a large lake, that if that's tucked away, it's not getting sprayed with
exactly. Yeah. So and then the other thing, it's been converted. So this was done by Joneses before I brought the boat, where it was a fixed arch, and they've just put the hinges on there with some gas struts, just unclips, and
again that would make it easier for getting along the upper part of the Ouse River that we're on here at the moment. Yeah, getting under some of those tight guillotine gates.
That's
things.
right. Yeah.
That's a great idea. Looking at your helm.
Yep, it's a busy one.
Is a busy helm, but everything on there is a useful part of it.
It is, yeah. So some of the buttons I'm still learning, which is something I'm sure you were going to mention.
I wasn't going to mention that on purpose because I know it was a little bit of a contentious issue, but as you can probably see on this video, there are two windscreen wipers, which is quite useful, particularly if you want to see out of the port side. It helps to wipe the window so you can see it.
It does.
Actually had a bit of a problem with the windscreen wiper electrical system. And I'll let Ashley tell me how he solved it, because it was quite an in-depth.
Well, I got friends to help me, capable friends, who walked around the boat with me, studied it to try and work out where the fuse was, whether it was a motor issue, wiring issue, or something like that.
All of these that you would go to as why the wiper motor was faulty.
So we were down the bottom, taking it all out and everything, and then Julian tracing the wires back and going, this doesn't make sense, and then followed it back up here and asked me what this other switch did, the one that was next to my wiper switch, which,
you mean the wiper
obviously
switch that is next
the
to
other
your
wiper switch. Yeah, so I've not
so what you're saying
very
is
stupid.
The problem with the wiper was more operator error. I know we do take the mickey out of it, but
it was
what? Seriously, it's a valid point, because there are a lot of switches on different types of boats. Sure. You're never quite sure what does what.
No, exactly.
And when you are particularly concentrating on helming the boat, you're not always seeing what's in front of you.
No.
From a switch point of view.
I certainly wasn't.
So let's do it as a notation to the less wise.
Yeah, well, it's good to learn the boat, and I think, when I bought it, I'd never driven a twin engine boat before or manoeuvred it and that. And of course, the first thing you do with the boat is you sort of clean them and play around a little bit, don't you? So I'd clean one side of it on the jetty, went to turn it round, and I couldn't turn it round. I didn't know what I was doing. And I got, sort of 2 of these, never had that before, and I'm turning the wheel and I'm trying things, and I was just utterly useless. So I actually then spent 2 weeks on YouTube learning how to drive my boat that I just brought, which was very, very beneficial, actually.
Yes, yeah, and I know now you've had the boat for
a couple of years now,
or 2 now, haven't you? I know you can helm this boat and put it within an inch of wherever you want it to be now. But that
so
takes
easy.
A bit of practice.
Well, it's just leave the steering wheel alone.
Yeah.
Basically, and just use it like a tank.
Yeah.
And that works really well.
That's great.
After you.
Okay.
I'll follow down and explain.
Get down here and let the camera adjust to the lighting, and try not to break my neck as we walk down. So immediately as you come down to here, you can see that it's a good size cabin down here. Would you like to explain what you've got in here from where you are at the moment?
Absolutely. Yep, no problem. So so we've got Navtex up there, which I don't think I'll ever use, but that was on the boat when I got it. A rather busy sort of switch arrangement there with everything on. Here we've got a twin sink unit, and then we've got hobs under here, a couple of hobs, sort of gas run there. Got the oven.
So you got a full oven on here. Yeah, it's what they call a sports cruiser. You have a full oven on here, which
and it works quite well actually. They're generally a bit slow, sort of, but we have used it a couple of times and it's been all right. Got another fridge in there, and then a bit of storage space underneath. There is quite a lot of storage space on the boat, fortunately.
There's a lot of hidden storage.
Yeah. So under here, under where you are, and then either side,
I'm going to pan the
kind of lift
around.
Up as well for.
Oh, now that's a hidden one that I didn't know was there. That's
well, I've got the cushions for the sun deck are actually in there, so they tuck away sort of quite nicely
to keep them, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's I've got the original barometer and clock on there as well.
I saw those. It's a nice touch just to keep it hanging back to when it was originally built.
It is, yeah. I don't know. So from the upholstery, I don't know whether it's been replaced. I think it must have been because it's in pretty good condition. But it does look quite sort of natural and works well for the boat. Yeah. So it fits in quite nicely.
I love things. It's going to sound a little odd, but like the wardrobe, the rounded edges on it, and I'm going to try and do this pointing thing here with my ginormous finger as it looks like, but it means you haven't got any sharp edges.
That's true, yeah, it's the same around the boat.
Yeah, that's great.
And the table drops down as well, obviously, to make a sort of berth at the front there, which is enormous when that's made up as a bed.
Massive. Well, bed, like you say, when it's made up, but it's an enormous. So you could get 8 people around that, couldn't you, for dinner?
Probably could, yeah.
That's marvellous. Okay, so
then we've got the head as it's known on the boats. So it's just pretty standard. Got the shower in there, and then the toilet. It's a manual toilet. I haven't gone electric because I kind of don't trust them a little bit, and they can be a bit noisy.
They can be a bit noisy.
So I've left it for now.
Expensive to repair when you.
No, exactly. And a nice little feature is that it's got a Jack and Jill door for going through to the bedroom. So if you have got someone staying, and it's
almost like a little bit of an ensuite for them, isn't it? To do that.
Yeah, and. I'll let you to just have a look in there, but
this is where I try to look in without breaking my neck and falling on my face.
Yeah, so you got a double bed down there.
That is a good size undercabin,
and it's comfy as well. I do sleep well on the boat. I like being out and about. So
yes, I know you do use your boat a lot.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I work. I'm location independent where I work, so I can come and work from the boat anytime I like.
Actually, what is the story of the boat? I mean, why have you got such a beautiful boat? Or is that a silly question?
No. It's it's a fair question. I've always loved boats. I was in the Sea Scouts when I was a youngster. Not much sea because I grew up in Luton.
It's not known for its seaside resort, that's true.
But and then went on holidays with my parents to the Norfolk Broads many times, and just loved it there. Learned to sort of sail and potter around on boats. Just felt natural thing to do. And then when my parents retired, they bought a house with a river frontage and brought their own boat.
Which people that watch the channel may have seen the Meet the Owner, which was your dad Graham on the boat Jesser.
Jesser, yeah, named after their grandchildren. So it's the initials of all of the grandchildren.
Yeah.
So yeah, my wife and myself spent plenty of time on holidays on Jesser and absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2022, and at that point, you know, I was sort of thinking, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And one thing I wanted to do was go out on the sea on a boat. Jesser is a river boat.
Yeah.
So I looked at getting my own boat. We did talk with the family about upgrading the existing boat, but it made more sense that I just purchased my own in the end.
Yeah.
And so we've got, within the family, we've still got the two boats, but that's why I bought this boat.
I see. Yeah. It's... And I have to say, because we have also been on many seagoing adventures, as many other adventures that we've been on together, you absolutely love this boat.
Yeah.
Now, the boat's name is Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
And that is...
So it's Latin for dawn, which is my late wife's name.
I think that's lovely.
It's a subtle way of, you know, sort of keeping the name there without it being sort of garish.
Or too much in your face. But I think that's a lovely gesture, and it's a nice name. And I think Dawn would have absolutely loved having a boat named after.
Yeah, thank you. So that's nice.
So we know that you use it on many adventures.
Yes.
You go out to the sea, and anyone that watches the channel will see Ashley and Aurora bouncing around on the bumpy stuff, going from Denver to King's Lynn and then on to Wells and back again.
That's it. Yeah, wonderful trip.
Brilliant trip. Yeah. Every year we have a lovely trip like this, don't we? But what's your plans for the future?
So undecided yet. I think at the moment I'd like to venture more. You know, we went out to Germany with Gary and brought the boat back, which was a superb trip.
Yes, it was.
And you know, such different networks of rivers and things like that. So perhaps exploring overseas a little bit more would be good. I think one other thing I'd love to do is go under Tower Bridge in Aurora.
So a visit to a road lift, or maybe even crewing it down to the Thames?
Yeah, maybe crewing it around could be fun. Go around by Yarmouth.
Well, I'm always up to volunteer with you for doing that. You know.
I think there'll be a few people up for that, which would be great. Yeah.
Ashley, it's been an absolute pleasure walking around your boat and showing us around. And I'm sure everyone that's watching this would agree with me. You have a lovely boat.
Thank you.
It's kept in wonderful condition, and you know, you're going to have many, many adventures moving forward with it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That's kind.
So thank you very much to Ashley for showing us around his most beautiful boat. As always, if you like what you see, we'd love to hear from you. Please comment below. The subscribe button's in the corner, and we'll see you next time.